Hi, my name is Tammy Miller. In this video, we are going to analyze E1 solvent conditions. To analyze E1 solvent conditions, we first must think about the substrate that is used for E1 reactions. As discussed in our E1 reaction videos, E1 reactions have a carbocation intermediate. The carbocation intermediate can be stabilized through hydrogen bonding. In our protic and aprotic solvents video, we discussed that a hydroxyl group can hydrogen bond. So on a protic solvent, the hydroxyl group, the hydrogen, can indeed hydrogen bond. Aprotic solvents cannot hydrogen bond with the substrate, which means they cannot stabilize the substrate. A common example of an aprotic solvent would be DMSO. Notice here that this is aprotic because there is no hydrogen that is attached to an oxygen. In addition, E1 reactions do not require a strong base to proceed. Any base can be used, including weak bases. This means that the protic solvent will not be deprotonated by that nucleophile that is acting as a base. The base will instead come and deprotonate the carbocation intermediate. So we have a carbocation intermediate drawn here, and our base is going to come in, and it's going to grab this proton, allowing it to leave, and allowing us to make a carbon-carbon double bond. The protic solvent will stabilize this carbocation intermediate while the nucleophile is acting as a base and is coming in and removing that proton. Let's look at a question based on this. During a summer internship, a lab assistant is asked to run an E1 reaction and needs to choose the appropriate solvent from the solvent cabinet. Which solvent should she use and why? So first thing we notice here is we have three solvents to choose from: dichloromethane, methanol, and benzene. The easiest way to look at this is to look at the structure of each of these solvents. That will allow us to quickly see if it is protic or not. When we look at dichloromethane, what we see is hydrogens, but none of the hydrogens are attached to an oxygen. Therefore, this is an aprotic solvent. This solvent will not hydrogen bond with and will not stabilize that carbocation intermediate, and thus cannot be used. Methanol, when we draw it out, we do see that it's got the hydroxyl group right here. That means this is a protic solvent, and this is an excellent solvent for an E1 reaction. This can hydrogen bond with, and this can stabilize our carbocation intermediate. Finally, we see benzene in the cabinet. When I look at benzene, I see, again, there are no hydrogens that are attached to a hydroxyl group. Therefore, we have a second aprotic solvent that cannot be used to stabilize the carbocation intermediate. Once we learn to look at our solvents and identify which solvents are protic and which solvents are aprotic, we can see which one to use to proceed with an E1 reaction.